Demaryius Thomas retiring as a Bronco.
Yeah, Demaryius "Bebe" Thomas announces his retirement yesterday. After 10 years in the National Football League, four-time Pro Bowler. Absolutely love this kid. When you heard his story coming in when he was a rookie, everyone fell in love with Bebe. And this dude came in and overcame the obstacles, all the obstacles thrown in front of him, and he was above average. You saw his shirt that he wore in his announcement sitting in his living room on Twitter, and that's exactly who he is. And when I think of him, I think about being above average. Look, we saw him perform on the big stage in some key moments. This game right here, this was a slant. This was the opening play of overtime. Tim Tebow throws him a slant. He takes it 80 yards, and they advance to the AFC Championship over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two-time AFC champion, Super Bowl 50 champion, and he was so instrumental in those historical runs, those historical offenses with Peyton Manning. We're talking about a couple years where he was that centerpiece, opening up for Eric Decker, opening up for their big tight end, opening up for everyone else. Nick, I absolutely love this guy, but the thing that stands out the most was his career path. You know, starting with Denver. I was drafted in Denver in 2006, and then he ended with the Jets, pretty much. So absolutely love Demaryius. Congratulations, buddy.
I love it. Brandon, and by the way, at the end, he had the same career path as me. That's got to be worth bonus points. Add that to it. Started with the Broncos, ended with the Jets. Yeah, except he got to play with Peyton Manning along the way. Something a little different. A little different because he did get to play with Peyton Manning. But yeah, congrats to Demaryius. Amazing career, Jenna. Amazing. It's great.
And to Brandon, apparently. Hey, guess who's not? Guess who's not a two-sport athlete? Fabio Quartararo, not a two-sport athlete. One sport athlete, yes. He just won the Dutch MotoGP motorcycle race at the Cathedral over the weekend. 350 kilometers per hour hairpin turns. One sport he has nailed. But put a driver in his hands and hit a golf ball. This he can't do. I'm not talking I'm not talking distance here. I'm just looking for contact. Just hit the ball.
My goodness.
But you can't blame the guy. In his defense, two-sport athletes are hard to come by. I mean, there have been a couple, football and baseball. Yeah, Bo Jackson, basketball and baseball. Okay, MJ, baseball and basketball again.
But he still got it done, Jenna.
No, barely. Motorcycle racing and golf. Sorry, Fabio. It doesn't count as a two-sport athlete.
How does
Nobody watches this. Nobody watches this. He just wanted you to talk about him. So whether he hit the ball or not, he got the job done. You are talking about him.
So then
Brandon, I love you, but you missed the point. The story is that Jenna only did this so she could reach her Danny Ainge quota for June. It's the end of the month. She has a little counter like they do to let people into a bar. She's like, oh, I'm 4 off. Yeah, in Utah. Yeah, he's doing a coup in Utah. It'll be great. And she just had to find a way to get it in before the end of the month.
Well, that was
like cops with speeding tickets.
Right.
It's outrageous.
All right, so Ben's skipping the Olympics. I'm going to start this take with the odd declaration that I hope I'm 100% wrong. Spoiler alert, I'm not. This is an awful decision from Ben that hampers his development, doesn't help it. We know that Ben needs a few things to work on his shot and sort of get to the next level of his career. One, he just needs straight up development, right? You need time in the gym. Olympics, check. Two, he needs to showcase his shot. Besides just rebuilding the shot, you need to be on the world stage and get through the crisis of confidence that we have. There's nothing better than the Olympic stage for that, to get over any stage fright you have of taking big shots. And number three, and Dwight Howard said this, and I believe him, when Dwight Howard's like, hey, we got to show this guy some love. The Australian national team is the most supportive group of guys you could possibly get. Take a listen to Patty Mills here.
So that's the number one fact, one characteristic of our group is how we support each other through the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it may be. Ben isn't an exception to that. So no matter what his decisions are and what he does, myself as well as everyone on the team and in this circle will continue to support him now and in the future because this is a safe place.
I mean, could you get any better of a guy than Patty Mills? I am begging Ben Simmons to reconsider. Not only because I put 10 grand on the Boomers to medal. That's not it. I actually want what's best for Ben.
Yeah.
And the other thing, last thing. The fact that this team is going to be fantastic. You got Patty Mills, you got Joe Ingles, you got Deladova, you got Matisse is going to play. Patty Mills will do most of the ball handling, so that's going to free Ben up and force him to make plays and take shots. I'm telling you, Ben,
the take was all good until the end. And you're like, oh, this team's going to be outstanding featuring Patty Mills.
They're going to be good.
No, it's not. No, they're not.
Watch out,
you had a great take, and then you blew it at the end.
Accent-wise.
You blew it at the end.
Boomers.
Yeah. Time to play a little retweet or delete. Pretty self-explanatory here. Start with some Bucks-Hawks. Trae Young listed as questionable for tonight's Game 4. Just the latest star guard to go down against Milwaukee this postseason after both Kyrie and James Harden also missed significant time. So, Brandon, are you retweeting or deleting the idea that Giannis's title run is less impressive given all his opponent's injuries?
I'm going to delete this as fast as possible, as fast as I can. Listen, if you know, you know. This is a part of the sport. This is a part of the game, right? And guys go down. Guys get banged up. And the greats find a way to compete at a high level when they're dealing with something. You hear me talking about this all the time. So, yes, it sucks to see KD go down and all these other guys go down, AD, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, how many times have we seen this in all of sports? So I'm not going to take away from Giannis, and I'm not going to take away from Chris Middleton and Bud. Absolutely not. It's a part of sports. So you got to deal with it. I don't know if it's just one of those things just happen, or if I don't know if it's a thing where they're not doing what they need to do in the offseason. And I'm not talking about KD or AD or any individual person. I'm just talking about athletes. Handle your business so you can create longevity in your career and be there for your team if you're not doing that already.
Which, by the way,
so delete.
Which is, by the way, something Giannis has done. I'm going to retweet this, but tell you it actually doesn't matter. So here's the thing. I do think people are going to potentially look at these finals. Let's just assume it's Suns-Bucks. Say, Bucks win 7 against the Nets, and they were shorthanded. The Suns had Kawhi go down. Jamal went down before the playoffs. AD went down. LeBron wasn't right. So in the moment, this will be a thing. But let's assume Giannis wins the title, Wilds. The reason I think it'll be irrelevant is one thing we have seen throughout NBA history is great players often take a leap after winning the title. Kobe was 21 points per game, won a title, and then the next year in the playoffs was 29. LeBron wins his first title in 2012. The next year, almost unanimous MVP, almost Defensive Player of the Year, and they had a 27-game winning streak. Steph wins his title. The next year is unanimous MVP. They win 73 games. So through hook or crook, who cares how they win it? I truly believe if the Bucks win the title, Wilds, you are going to actually see a better, freer, more empowered Giannis. I think the best version of Giannis we will have ever seen would, well, or a Giannis that says,
that's the only thing left.
I've proven everything, right? Or the other option is go the other way. Don't need a shot. I can do this every time down the court. I got nothing to prove to you guys, and just work on his free throws.
Right.
And so either way, Wilds, I think you're going to see a better Giannis. So I do think in real time, people will be like, yeah, but if they wins another one, it won't matter. And if he wins another MVP, it won't matter.
Okay, so I'm going to delete it aggressively. I just don't care about injuries on the other teams. You don't get to choose your opponents. You don't get to choose your opponent's health. Nick, I'm going to throw it back to you quick because I know we've got America's favorite baseball segment coming up in 30 seconds. If Giannis doesn't win, suppose he just gets to the finals and loses, do you think he will have the same jump next year?
No. I think there's actually then more pressure. Because then it's like, we had this opportunity, guys were hurt and we didn't win. No. I think it's a 1 or nothing type of thing, Jenna.
Okay, how about that?
How do you aggressively delete? Are you hitting it hard, or is there emotion behind it?
Yes.
Time for Wild's Weird and Wonderful.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber continues to